It is not enough to just have a sales force. If you want to be really successful, you have to have a sales force that's motivated. To have a sales force that's motivated, you need to understand their motivation and you need to get them motivated so they go out there and they sell for you. This is an area where a lot of people do not understand what they're doing. Now, let's look at motivation itself. Let's take that and dissect it and break it down here. Motivation, there's two types. There's external, short-term based motivation, and there's internal and or long-lasting motivation. Okay? One is weak, one is strong. Short-term motivation is like fear-based motivation, like when somebody yells at somebody and that person obeys. That is short-term fear-based motivation. That motivation goes away with distance, proximity, time. It's just all around weak because it's coming from the outside. Internal motivation is the motivation, for example, for money, to earn money. Somebody will work and work and work towards a goal if they know that there's a prize at the end. That is how you have to handle your sales force. You have to give them incentives. A lot of people, when they're setting up their sales teams, put together sales quotas, and quotients and, commission structures and all that stuff, and they do it absolutely backwards. They don't understand motivation. They don't set up a structure that incentivizes somebody to shoot for the moon. If you want to set up a sales team and get them motivated, motivate them with money. That is the fundamental driver that motivates basically everyone and everything in our economy. So, how do you do that? What does that look like? Well, I'll break that down for you. When you have a sales force and you're bringing on people and you're putting them on commission, which most of you are going to do, to go out there and sell for you, you give them a percentage of the sale, right? Usually it's a percentage of the gross or the net, right? Percentage of net profit is quite often the case. You're going to give them, I don't know, let's say 20%, 30%, whatever it is. Now, if you keep them at a flat 30%, you get 30 if you get one sale and you get 30 if you get 10. You may in your mind think, well, that's enough. 30 if they get one, 30 if they get five. That's a lot of money. If they get 5 sales, whatever it is in a given time period, let's say it's 5 sales a month, you're going to get 30%. What you really should do is tell that person to shoot for 10 sales. You'll give them, say, 30% from sale 1 through 3. Then you give them 40% for sale 4. And if they get sale 5, you'll give them 50%. And the reason for that is if you give them the incentive to sell more and they know that they have the potential to bat the ball out of the park and hit a home run, they're going to shoot for it basically all the time. And the reason that's going to be better is that means you have a supercharged sales force that are going to work harder because they're shooting to make more money. They know that they're not restricted. Another thing you can do, you can consider doing at least for a sales force where you have long-term people who've been with you in an office setting and stuff, is to give them a percentage of their sales monthlies. Okay, almost like the insurance industry where you get a residual on all of your accounts. You give them a small residual on their accounts, and it doesn't amount to a huge amount of money because what you do is you couple with that residual the responsibility for them to manage that client over time. This is better for you because when they're managing the client, number one, you're not shifting roles. You're not shifting personnel either. So the salesperson that sold the client now is responsible for managing the relationship between the business and that client. From the client's perspective, they're building rapport with your company through one person that they've known the whole time. There's a lot less, room for error there. The other side of it is you can put it in the books and put it in policy that they have to give this person a call and hand them a report every month. They have to get in touch with them, do wellness checks, etc. So that little bit of money you give them from a residual on the sale coming in, it could be quarterly, could be monthly, whatever it is, that little bit is going to be an incentive, and it's going to, you couple it with these responsibilities, it's going to benefit you and it's going to benefit them. It's going to benefit the client. It benefits everybody. And it's going to keep that incentive alive for them to continue to maintain the relationship to keep the residual coming in. You can consider doing something like that for salespeople who've been with you a while, salespeople that are, part of the stability of your company. Over time, it'll become that salesperson's income, a big chunk of change for them. If they get tons of sales, who cares? They earned it. Let them have the money. You're not giving them anything. They're earning it, working with you, and you're making money. They're making money. And hey, it's a live and let live world. You really don't need to know a whole lot to understand motivation. You just have to be able to empathize and see the perspective of somebody else and see it from their perspective. When you have a sales force that's highly functional and highly efficient and doing its job well, and they're all incentivized and motivated the right way, it really is when your business can just hum along and make you a lot of money. Anyhow, if you like this video, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Leave me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.